They're clearly invested.
Some of them protested.
They just didn't like what was being suggested.
What? That as great as we are, we can be better.
One in particular seems like a trendsetter.
I'm sorry, I think I forgot my sweater.
Hey, how do you think that went?
They all seem spent and don't see the point. And frankly, I'm not sure I do either.
Mackenzie, you got a minute? Sit down, take a breather. Let me tell you all a story about Professor John Hattie. Man does the kind of work that would drive me batty. Guy's a numbers guy, a statistician by trade. Meta-analysis is how he gets paid. He's on a quest to synthesize all education research, and his findings are fine, the kind of wise no teacher can besmirch. But after tens of thousands of students with millions, tens of thousands of studies with millions of students all around the globe, a few things jump out and blind you like a strobe light, illuminating a vision for schools looking to improve. If you've ever stumbled out of school, feeling a fool, staring up at the sky thinking, why? Like some drunken astronomer, it's time to take a look at John Hattie's barometer. See, a few things we know that are no more effective than kids learning on their own. We call them developmental effects. Their impact's so low, why bother to clone? They're ideas we should reject. But other things we do all the time as teachers. They're things that always feature prominently on PD plans, ideas we shouldn't neglect. They're what Hattie calls typical teacher effects. Now, this doesn't mean stop doing them. On the contrary, kids are learning more than they would without us, so that would be kind of scary. Do them well, but before spending time and treasure, take a moment to pause and ask yourself whether the juice is really worth the squeeze, or is there something more we should seize? See, we know too that there are a litany of factors to which we are only reactors. The effects of ADHD on learning are atrocious. It makes it much more difficult to, is that an iPad? Transient students lose learning in the mood, while being boring, as if we have nothing to prove, leaves little lads and lassies napping. Why else do you think I'm up here rapping? Our suspensions and retentions put learning in reverse. How on earth can we hope to undo this curse? How can we stop this learning regression? Fortunately, that's my man John Hattie's obsession. Now, much of this will come as no surprise. I mean, come on, guys. Did you know student motivation's important? Of course, but did you know your actions can court it? Witty banter leads to learning, but only if you get students' mental gears turning. And mnemonics are sweet, but as long as I live, I'll remember the rainbow as Roy G. Biv. As the kids would say, prior knowledge is pretty lit, but it turns out they don't learn from teachers they think are full of it. While feeding them feedback feeds the fire inside. RTI is something everyone's tried, but doing it well, that's a different story. We dump data in droves on already full plates. We meet, but never really collaborate. Systemic interventions? That sounds like another prep. Evaluating shared strategies? I think we'll skip that step. See, to get to the big stuff requires something even bigger. The collaborative equivalent of raising the rigor. When you come to work, what you're praying to see is collective teacher efficacy. It's the highest effect size Hattie's found so far. The PLC equivalent of driving a Jaguar. But it turns out, the more effective or the more confident the teacher that they can help students learn, the more effective they are at every turn. And when a school decides that here we don't fail, when you can hear their mission with every exhale, everyone learns. The systems align. Broken hearts pulled together with steel in the spine. But it doesn't happen by accident. Building collective efficacy is a marathon, not a sprint. It starts with sharing decisions. Not everyone will be thrilled, but people are less likely to tear down a fence they helped build. Start by asking, what's our mission, and do we choose to accept it? Compel a vision for the group for which people choose to submit themselves to being a part of something more. Find a unifying goal we can all adore.
Mark, this sounds great, but it's getting late.
Agreed.
Collective efficacy is certainly a need.
It's been my pleasure getting you up to speed.
I'm still not sure you can sell this to my colleagues.
No, that'll take someone else, I concede.
Agreed.
Our principal's great. She'll surely intrigue.
Actually, I was thinking a league of extraordinary teachers to fit the need.
I'm feeling fatigued.
It's the only way to ensure our efforts succeed.
To that I concede. So how should we proceed?